Purl Soho Warehouse sale. Ever wondered what it's about? Come join me for the excitement.
Good morning. This is Beth coming from San Diego with a mixed bag of knitting, where I'm talking about yarn, knitting, and knitting adjacent things. Once a year, Purl Soho has a warehouse sale in Orange County, which is about an hour and a half from where I am in San Diego. And they offer all kinds of different yarns that are discontinued. They have overstock. They have yarns that maybe they tried but didn't make it in their collection. All kinds of interesting things. So 7 of us from our Wednesday night knitting group are going because it's a first come, first serve kind of thing, and they'll let so many people at a time. We're leaving really early, so right now it is 5:16 in the morning. Even Marvin is not awake. He's sleeping away in his little crate, ignoring me completely. But we want to get there early so we can get in early, because it's kind of whoever comes first, that's who has best selection, and go on from there. We went 2 years ago, and it's kind of nostalgic for me because I'm not 2 years, this is our second year going. We went last year, and I actually filmed last year because that's when I first was started thinking of doing a YouTube video. But then I got kind of overwhelmed by the whole editing process, and I kind of gave up the idea until just recently. One of the moms on one of my Facebook groups asked about a summer job for her 15-year-old. I asked if he knew how to edit, and he does. So now I have an editor, so I'm very excited. So hopefully this year we'll actually make it into an episode and just not a film track on my camera. So it should be kind of fun. Right now I am wearing the Shore Tee by Anne Vincel. And it is made in a Purl Soho Spectrum Silk Cherry Blossom. It is one that I got at the sale last year. It is apparently one that did not make it into their collection. You could tell because the ones that didn't make it in the collection didn't have normal labels on them. They had like just little white labels with things typed up, but they didn't have the normal labels that the Purl Soho yarn has. And one of the mistakes I made last year, that hopefully I'm not going to make this year, is I just put stuff in my basket, and then I got home and some of them didn't have labels at all. They just had like paper labels, didn't say anything on them. So like I've got this white yarn, I have no idea what it was. What you were supposed to do, and they told us later, when I wasn't really willing to go back and do it, is take a picture of the sign by the yarn you bought. So you would go home and know what it was. I was excited, there was a lot of yarn, I was kind of going crazy. Didn't take it, so there's one for sure I have no idea what it was. Most of the other ones I was able to pretty much figure out what they were based on other things, but that one, no idea. So it'll be interesting when I go to knit it. So what happens is you go line up. There's a courtyard, and then they let like 20 people in at a time. So what we did last year is we got there early. We set up our little lawn chairs, which is what we're going to do today, and we brought our knitting, and we sat there and knitted until they opened at 9 o'clock. Last year we left at 6. We're leaving a little bit earlier today, much to my friend Linda's dismay. She's not really an early person. There's 4 of us that are going early bird, and then there's 3 that are not leaving till 7. Then the also exciting thing about today is it's actually Knit in Public Day. So after we go to the sale, the 7 of us have plans. There's a special coffee shop near there that has really good muffins. We're going to go there. And then my friend Annette has arranged brunch for us somewhere, so it's going to be a surprise. We're all going to go there. So that's kind of cool. Other kind of fun thing was last year we were all in line, and we're probably numbers 8 through 10 last year, 8 through 12. And by the time it was getting close to 8:30, there was a pretty long line around the block. And some ladies walked up and said, "Who's here from the farthest?" "We're from San Diego." And we said, "Oh, we're from San Diego too." And they looked at us and said, "What time did you guys wake up?" Because obviously they were getting there closer to 8:30, and they thought they would come so far. So yeah, so we're the early birds get the worm kind of people, and hopefully we're going to get some great exciting things today, which I'll show you later. I am also going to be bringing the Line A Cardi It's by Maria, Montzka. It's in We Are Knitters, the Bling Bling in Natural. And the reason I have to bring this, even though it is towards the end of June, is San Diego, you wake up in the morning and it is 60 degrees. And probably by the time the sale is over, 10 o'clock, it'll be 70s, and it's supposed to get up to the 80s today. So I have shorts on, but I'll have a warm sweater. This one is one that was kind of fun because I bought it. The yarn, it was one of those, I wanted to get free shipping, which I really didn't need the yarn, but it turned out really well. I'm really happy with it. I'll have it on later, and you'll see it because I'm sure it will be cold sitting out waiting for everyone to start. So that's about it for now. I will see you guys later. If you like this kind of field trip, please press the like button and think about subscribing. And once we get there, we'll see you back. All right. Almost there, a few minutes away, and we'll be at the outlet store place. See you in a bit. So we're here already, and there's already a long line. Last year we got here a little later, and there was not as long a line. We were actually on the front side. So now we got left 15 minutes early, and we still are not in the front groups. Hopefully there's not too many people. Let's see. I don't know if we're going to be in the first group again this year. That's going to be a bummer. I'm going to be very sad. Hi, this is Carrie, and Carrie came with us on the field trip. Carrie, what are you working on?
I am working on the Amadeo sweater. It has a nice lacy sleeve on it.
The sleeves are really cool.
And it's written by Collaborate by Johanna.
And what yarn is it?
And it's an Expression Fiber Arts yarn. It's luminous tweed fingering, and it's got 45% baby alpaca, 45% merino, and 10% multi.
And it looks like you're almost done.
I have one sleeve done, and the other sleeve will take me a while.
Okay. Well, it looks really pretty. Hi, Tatiana. What are you making?
I'm making the salt air tea. I was up late.
Show us. Oh, that's really pretty. And what yarn is that?
This is yarn very lily sock. This is just a sock yarn, merino wool and nylon.
It's coming out really pretty. So where are you in the process?
I'm about to bind off my first sleeve.
Okay.
And then it's the second sleeve, and then I'm done.
Okay, so you're going to finish that today, huh?
Oh yeah, and I'll be starting the next one.
We're in now. We're one of the first groups in, so it's very exciting. This is a special table with kind of odds and ends. It starts with fingering over here. Unprocessed returns, whatever that means. Let's see what this is. This looks pretty. What's this right here? I think I like this. Oh, linen. How many yards is this? Oh, that's what I want. Oh. So this stuff is all apparently unprocessed returns. So the yarn is all $3 each. So I'm buying everything they have pretty much. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, if I have to. Look at this gray is pretty. What's this made out of? But for $3, you can't really beat that. Oh, this one doesn't have a, oh, it's $30. Oh, that's not $3. That's $29. We're not buying any of that. Oh, cashmere fingering. Fine print. Let's kind of look and see what they have first. Echo cashmere, that looks interesting. Let's see what that feels like. Is this the Echo cashmere down here? Oh, there's not enough of it for anything, huh? There's not a sweater quantity. Japanese denim cotton, that looks really pretty. Widgeon, mulberry merino, knitting DK, light worsted. I'm looking for that silk cotton stuff. What's it called again? Cotton merino. It's
June worsted.
plein air. Yeah, that's what I want. Yes.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah.
So this is the plein air, which I was thinking would be light enough for my color work, but I think it's going to be too heavy.
I'm gonna bring you in a basket.
So I think that's a no-go.
This underneath the gal with the black hat. Okay. So go get it when you're ready.
And all different weights. What's this one? Nothing, not enough to do anything with. This is, oh, this is what linen I got last year. One of those boxes. We got that color right there last year. Daily worsted. What's this one? This is made out of what? Superwash wool. No, we don't want superwash. But this was the Morning. But we got that color last year, so we can't get that color this year. See anything else I need to have, Tatiana?
I don't know.
Let's see. 14 chunky. What's this made
Like
out
you
of?
don't have enough yarn at home?
You never have enough yarn. I don't think I want this big old fat stuff. No, it's too hot for San Diego. These are the cones. Light worsted. I can't remember what I got last year. I don't know if any of those, but I don't want, this is all worsted. I mean, all 100% wool. I don't need more 100% wool because it was scratchy last year. Worsted DK, 100% merino. Oh, that one's cotton. I could look at the cotton, sport weight cotton. I think I could do that. Doesn't look like sport weight. It looks like fingering to me. Doesn't it look like fingering?
It is. It's just like a sport.
So where does it say
Fingering
how much it
sport.
costs?
So
Oh, it tells you on the sticker right
yeah.
there.
Aha, I see. I was 61.
This is really nice. I made a whole blanket out of it and like a shirt before, and it like you can put it in the washing machine and dryer.
What color do you think
This
is good?
cotton, right? Yeah.
Do you like this color?
I did that color.
How
before.
many yards does it tell me on it? Because last year I got confused. I didn't buy the right amount of yards. Does it tell me
It
how many
says,
yards?
It should say
Because
the
that
grams.
was the problem. Is I figured out 100 grams. Because that's what I got in trouble last year. I thought
So
I
it's
was
like,
getting
it's
that.
like a third.
So,
Of 2,000.
Got it. Yeah, that's why I think
so this might be nice. That's $95. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, they're usually like 100 and something. Like
I don't know. What do you think? Should I try one of these?
I love this yarn personally.
I like this color, but this is not enough, I don't
that
think.
color.
But this is only 390 grams. So 390 grams means if there's normally 3,000, there's 1,000 grams is 2,700 yards. So this is 300 grams. That's a third of that. So it's like 1,000 yards. Oh, I could do a sweater out of this
Yeah.
one.
1,000 yards. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out also too.
Oh, this
They're all
math.
different
How much?
sizes, but it's good they put exactly.
This
how
is
much.
430 grams. Do you like this color? But these are,
Especially.
no? Okay. But you like the blue I got? Do you like this color?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
But I
what I
think,
do.
don't I have one similar to that already? All right, let's go back over here now that it's green.
Did you find what you wanted?
Well, I'm going to do color work. So I think I could do this with the peach I bought last year, this green, for color work.
Yeah.
How much is this? What colors do we get? So how much, what is back here? Too much green? There's only 2 greens. So what green do you think is better? These are different greens. So we have to pull out the picture from last year and see. Let's pull out the picture and see what we think will match. I went out of control. They had a whole rack of unprocessed returns. Everything was $3. So I bought way more yarn because it was $3. It was like, they were like, giving it to me. They were making me buy it for $3. I mean, how can I not buy it? I hardly bought anything that wasn't $3. Look at $3. That's linen, $3. Blackbird linen, $3. It's gorgeous.
Got all of these.
It's $3. Who can do a sweater for $15 in linen? Really? I mean, I spent $100 on linen a couple months ago.
Yeah, it's not. It's yeah.
Sunglasses.
Yeah, we don't want to. You don't need to buy those again.
Plein air. This is plein air, $3. I'm going to do color work with this, $3. So everything here was $3. Maybe I shouldn't get this. I think I'm going to put this back. Let's see how much I spent before and then this was not $3, but it was only $13. But Linda was supposed to take a picture of what it was. I hope I didn't screw that up again. And then this, I got to do the color work with the Santa Lini that I bought last year. And so I got these colors to match with it to do color work. All this is mine. I want to buy all this.
Lovely.
Okay. And then this, also $3. This is merino wool, $3. So
Start here.
how could I not? So I'm going to wait on this and see,
Okay.
because I'll see how much damage I did. Do you have a drawing last year for free stuff like you did?
Yes, we'll do that near the end here.
So last year they had a drawing and I got 2 skeins of linen. Now we're off to a coffee shop to knit in public. So we found this coffee shop that is next to this fancy stationery place we want to go to. So we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 giant rock. Okay, I just got back from our field trip and we had the absolute best time. I don't know if you could tell from the other clips we put in, but they had this whole section of what they called unprocessed returns, and everything on it was $3. I went absolutely hog wire. If you are one of those people that's anti-consumerism, you might want to turn the video off. You're not going to like it because I went crazy. So let me show you what I got. And most of it was $3. So I got, this was the plain air. It's the wool and cotton. And all these were $3 each. Okay, so I got 2 different colors so I could do color work. So I got a gray and a blue. I probably got more than I needed, but for $3, I thought it was better to get the extra and not worry about it. Then for $3 each, I mean, you can't hardly buy 1 skein of yarn for $15 normally. So here I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, $21 for all that yarn, $3 each. Then I got this navy blue, and this is the line weight, L-I-N-E weight, and it's 100% merino wool. It is so soft, it feels like there's silk in it. Again, this navy blue, it's fingering weight, $3 each. Then, this was really exciting. This is the cattail silk. Okay, I got 4 of these or 5 of these. Again, $3 each. Then this is the Santolino, and this one again at that table, $3 each. 5 of those. Then this one is the line weight again, and $3 each. Like, you can't go to a thrift store and get yarn for $3 a skein. So I have, this was also $3 each. This one I actually was a little mistake. I thought I was buying something else because my friend Linda was buying it on the same shelf. And it turned out this is the pepper, which is a superwash, which is not my big fan. But the bigger mistake was, since I wasn't paying attention because that was so exciting and everything was going so fast, it's less yardage than I thought. So I think I have like 600 yards or something. So it's going to be interesting to see what I can make with this. But this was not that expensive. This was $13 each. So this was probably the most, this is actually the most expensive thing I bought. And it's a really pretty color, but it's, yeah, it feels like it's got some wool something in it. So it's probably a little warmer. So it's going to be a little tougher to make a short sleeve summer top, but that's what it's going to be because that's how much yarn I have. Then I got, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. So I just recently bought linen when I was in Oregon. You guys saw me buying that, or you'll see me buying that when that video drops. And it was like $70. Okay, here is this blackbird linen, okay, $3 each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this color. And then look at this beautiful color. 5 in this color. $3 each. So for $15, each of those sweaters is going to cost me $15. Linen sweaters. I'm very excited. Then the one thing that I was there on a mission is last year I bought some Santolina, and I thought, well, wouldn't it be nice if I got some skeins to match with that I could use color work. So I got this pretty blue and this pretty green. Okay. And they weren't that much. They were $11 each. So really, the only things I bought were 5 skeins that were not $3. Everything else was $3. So these two were $11, $22. The others were $13. I actually had a big cone because I bought some cones last year of cotton, but then when I realized how much I bought at the end, I put that back because I thought, okay, we don't need that. Well, then one of the things that happens at the end when you check out is they have these little Purl Soho buttons. And on the back, they have little dots or not dots. And so if you get a dot, you get a prize. And so last year I got a prize. Though the problem last year was I got 2 skeins of lace weight. I can't remember what it was. But because it wasn't really enough to do anything, I ended up having to buy 2 more skeins to make enough to make a sweater quantity. So, and they weren't cheap to do when I bought. But this year, I got 2 skeins of the Santolina. So it's kind of interesting. Now I have these 3 green ones, which it might make more sense to try and do something with the 3 green ones together and use this purple one for the color work, because I think 3 of these is probably enough to do a sweater, because my recollection is they're like 360 yards each. But you can see we had an awesome time. We sat in line and waited for them to open. They actually opened early, which was kind of a panic because at about 8:40, two of the ladies went to bring all the stuff back to the car, walked over there, and then all of a sudden they start moving the line, and we were afraid that we were going to get to the front and they weren't going to be here. And they literally stopped the line right in front of me, and they were going to let us in. Then Carrie and Linda came running up, and then we all went in together. It was a good time. Our friends that arrived later did not have such a selection. I'm not sure they bought anything except the silk mohair, which would not have been there when they got there. My friend Carrie knew that Annette was looking for it, so she put it all and put it in her basket and waited inside until they got inside and they bought that. But they all definitely agreed that next year they were going to leave earlier, because that group was very resistant about the idea of leaving early. I wanted to leave at 5 or 5:30, but they wouldn't. Nobody would go for that. But there was a good number of people in front of us. We were probably 40 in line, whereas last year we were number 12 in line and we left at 6. This year we left at 5:45 and we're like number 40 in line. So people are definitely getting more in tune to this great event. It's interesting. I have no idea if they had the $3 table last year or not, because it may have been that I just didn't realize it and I was walking around looking at everything and that table went like that. The things in that rack did not last long. They were gone pretty quickly. Next year, that's where I'll stop first. If they have it again, who knows? Because obviously you never know what's going to be there. The line was tremendous. I can't imagine whether there's stuff at the end of the line. We actually asked if they restocked, and one lady said to be determined. Another lady said, oh, probably not. This is probably all there is. And she said that last year at the end of the line, there was still some stuff they had to bring back to the warehouse. So it may have been some of the more expensive stuff. Like there was some cashmere there that was a blend. And that was actually right next to the rack of $3. And I was like all excited. I'm like, how come no one's getting this? Look how pretty this is. And I looked and that was $29 a skein. And had it not been for the $3 rack, I may have bought a couple skeins of that, because I might have thought, oh, that's a good deal. Normally it's $60. It's $26. It's a good deal. I would have thought I got a bargain. But the cool thing about the $3 stuff is it didn't matter what it was. They were all the same price. And I'm thrilled with the linen, because linen is such a great weight for San Diego. I can't wait to knit with this. And of course, I'm going to have to restrain myself, because one of my rules is to try and knit with my older yarn in my stash at least one project. And so my next project I'm due for is a something from the bottom of the stash. So I've got to do that first. But I'm looking forward to all the stuff I knit, and it'll be there when I'm ready for it. And it was a wonderful day. I'm so glad you guys joined us. I'm doing today. I'm very excited. Anyhow, so if you enjoyed this video, please like it. Please subscribe. And hopefully we'll see you again for some other adventures that we go on. Have a wonderful day.
Okay, so I had to do one more filming. My husband and I went to, we love these total wine classes. They have these classes where you get like 8 tastings, you get cheese, crackers, and dinner. We go all the time. It's really fun. You learn a lot of stuff. But the whole time, all I could think about is I bought $3 worth of yarn. So I came home and did the math and figured how much the actual normal price was for the Purl Soho yarn. And I went through and did all the prices for all the yarn I got. And if I had paid regular price, and I understand sometimes they have sales, it would have been $1,082.60. And that's before tax, because I couldn't figure the tax out on that. I paid $174.80 with tax for all that yarn. So the bottom line is, if you're ever in California during the warehouse sale, I highly recommend it. It was a great deal. I got awesome yarn, clearly yarn I didn't need, but for $3 a skein, really? It was awesome. And obviously, hours later, 7 o'clock at night, I'm still very excited about it. So I want to tell you guys about it. It's exciting. It's so cool. $174 for $1,082 worth of yarn. It was a great deal. Well worth it. A great day. A great field trip. Hopefully you guys will come back and visit with us again. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.